Abad, Shabbat, Shalom, Senbet Salam. Hopefully one's sabbatical, kept the sabbatical order, rest and refresh for the Shabbat day. Here, the Shabbat day corresponds here in the season with day 4. Day 4 of the Maccabee fight, the 8 days fight, the Maccabee memorial right here. The Maccabee fight and the Hanukkah light, relighting the light. Keep the fire burning, relighting the light, relivicating, right? Relivicating, some would say dedicating, reinitiating the temple, the temple right here. Both looking at the historical view of Maccabee, the time of Maccabees and the connection with Hanukkah, as well as the Brit Chadash, the Adis Kidan, the new covenant, right? The new covenant revelation, right? In a new and a living way that he has consecrated for I and I through the veil, that is, say, the flesh. So also reflecting on how they, right, kept up the fight, and fighting and battle. Battle definitely is not easy. You know what I mean? So pushing through, these 8 days with the focus, the reason for the season, Maccabee fight. Fourth book of Maccabees. If one can get a copy of the fourth book of Maccabees, it should have 8 chapters, right? 8 chapters, but it's the fourth book of Maccabees. We read a chapter a day. Some very, very interesting and very applicable words, right, for our liberty concerning reason, right? How reason, especially reason through HaTorah, right, helps us to gain that temperance, that self-control, that mastery over the desires, over the passions. And here, this Torah reading and feeding, we have Meek 8. In the Hebrew, to the English, at the end or from the end, me, from the Kate, Meek 8, from the end. Here concerning Joseph's ascension. Right? Joseph is ascending from that lowest low to the higher heights, right? The higher heights, Joseph from the pit, right? Ascending from the pit, even the pit that his brothers threw him in because of the envy, the jealousy, and also the patriarch's favoritism, the favor that he showed, right, to the son of his beloved wife, Rachel. Joseph. Now, this doesn't mean that Joseph didn't have skills. You know what I mean? Joseph didn't have the Holy Spirit or the calling. Of course, he did right there. But the experiences in the life, in the liberty, and hopefully, the reflections of it that can help us in our way, in our walk, in the way, the truth, and the life. So right here. Don't give up the fight, what we say.
Get up, keep on stopping on. Don't give up the fight. Get up, keep on stopping on. Don't give up the fight.
Fight the good fight.
Keep on stopping on. Don't give up the fight.
Fight the good fight. The word reminds us to fight the good fight of the Emunah, of the true faith. Such for I and I, the new name, precious name, true faith of the King of Kings Christ. So first things first. Here, I'd like to share this tune right here. Also, make this a time of the tribute to the martyrs, to those who testified before I and I, who kept up that fight, who contended earnestly for the faith that was once delivered to the saints, the set apart ones. Here. Speaking of being set apart, right? Holy, Right? Some say sanctified, consecrated. Here we have Henkel Irie, Henkel Irie with get sanctified, get set apart, get set apart to Yahweh, to the way, the truth, and the life. Here, Henry Irie.
Now this is not science. The science done. All wicked people back up and run. The revival will come. Give it up. Something in my heart is like a stream running down, and it makes me feel so happy as can be. Every time I think about Jaja and what he has done for me, I drink something in my heart is like a stream running down. Follow me now, just get sanctified, oh, get sanctified, oh, get sanctified, oh, get sanctified. Just hold up your one because you get sanctified. Oh, hold up your foot because you get sanctified. Oh, why not go down because you get sanctified. Oh, all of the people them get sanctified. Cause real, Jai so real to me. I know, I love him because he gave I the big song. Many people that doubt him, but I can't live without him. Cause that is why I love him. Cause he's so real to me. I real sanctified, get sanctified. All that people who not get sanctified, just get sanctified. Oh, get sanctified. Oh, get sanctified. Oh, get sanctified. Cause I make the sea, he make up the land, then he fasten them together with his mighty hand. And can I rip on the mic, me and the champion. All of the people have to come in at the convention. Cause something in my heart is like a stream running down, and it makes me feel so happy as can be. Every time I think about Jaja and what he has done for me, hallelujah. Something in my heart is like a stream running down. Trevor, you ball out, get sanctified, oh, get sanctified, oh, get sanctified, oh, get sanctified. No stone in the river, no stone, no stone, no stone, no stone in the river, no stone, no stone, no stone. From you get sanctified, you got peace in your heart, no stone in the river, no stone. Follow me now, people, you just get sanctified, oh, get sanctified, oh, get sanctified, oh, get sanctified. People in England get sanctified, oh, up in Canada get sanctified, Jamaican people get sanctified, oh, up in America get sanctified. Cause something in my heart is like a stream running down, and it makes me feel so happy as can be. Every time I think about Jaja and what he has done for me, I said something in my heart is like a stream running down. So just get sanctified, oh, get sanctified, oh, get sanctified, oh. Why not go down because you get sanctified, oh. Why not come up because you get sanctified, oh. Kick out your foot because you get sanctified, oh. Shake up the one because you get sanctified, oh. Shout it out so you get sanctified. Cause real.
Yeah. Hallelujah. Opening the door right here. Yes, God. Oh.
Aviva, it's
Yeah.
time to open the door. Time to open the door for Eliyahu.
So right here, day four here in the evening, the observance right here, Hanukkah for the day 4 into the day 5 right here. Look what's done from Temple Rockers. Check out the Temple Rockers album and also Temple Rockers dub with some of the roots reggae artists, chanting in the Hebrew as well as the English to this time, the season, the Maccabee fighting holiday. We call it the Maccabee Hanukkah properly, the roots, getting to the roots. It's the Maccabee fighting holiday. The Maccabee meaning that hammer. It says his word is like fire. It's not his word like fire. It's not his word like a hammer that smashes and dashes the rock into pieces. But firstly, Hanukkah. right? A little jug, right? A little jug. God Katan, right here, Shema Yisrael. Pause right here. A little is called, this tune is called a little jug. A little jug, like a little jug. It could be of water or here to the season of oil, right? But note this, that the oil is olive oil, olive anointing oil, also the olive oil is also a symbol of the spirit. All right. So know ye not that your bodies are the temple. All right. The connection there is the Holy Spirit. So this here in the Hebrew is known as Kad Katan. Kad Katan. The Kad Katan right here. Temple Rockers, Maccabees, Dub, Hanukkah Dub, Festival Dub. Any relics? Any relics right there? They're temple rockers right there. They're there. A little jug, a little jug of oil, you know, just a little something, right? Can go a long way. Right there, they're there. Now here for the season, reasons for the season right here. Usually on the Shabbat of the Sabbath that occurs during the time of Hanukkah, right? There's what's known as the Al HaNisim. Al on HaNisim. Nisim mean the miracles, Nisim, right? HaNisim is like the miracles. Miracles, Nisim, HaNisim, the miracles. So here we call this Al HaNisim. Al HaNisim right here, Chaverim. Give you a first here, then we'll break down the relics as they pertain to the season and the time of Yehuda, you know, Maccabi, and Judas Maccabeus, and the Maccabee fighting. Al
Botini, I am in high, but I Al Hanisim, the Al Hafurkan, the Al Hazurot, the Al Hatubot, the Al Hamikamot, the Asita Labofinu, I am in Hahim Hazel. Al Hanisim, the Al Hafurkan, the Al Hazurot, the Al Hatubot, the Al Hamikamot, the Asita Labofinu, I am in Hahim Hazel. Hey. Alhamdulillah, the Al-Hafuran, the Al-Hafuro, the Al-Hatu, the Al-Hamikamo, the Atitalabotenu, I am in Harvard,
Here, the Al Ha-Nasim, some might say Val Ha-Nasim, and on the miracles, Val Al Ha-Nasim, or just a Hal Ha-Nasim. And so there's a couple of pages out there that have some interesting, write-ups on this chant, this tune. It also appears in the Siddur. We see the Siddur, the prayer book, authorized prayer book, Al Ha-Nasim, right? And this here is from, let's bring this up here. This is one of the tunes from Temple Rockers, the Festival of Lights, right there, there. The Temple Rockers, Festival of Light, speaking about the Hanukkah. And here, I think this is the dub, right? This is the dub version, right? We have some of the dubs, some beautiful dubs right there with the horns and fullness there. Also, the A side, with various roots reggae artists, chanting the chant, and the connection, to the roots of Rastafari in the book of Maccabees. So kind of building our house on the rock, right? The rock, right? So right here, we have a little audible right here, which kind of goes to a kind of a basic breakdown and a build. And let's just get into a little bit more of this right here. Let's bring this up over here. Here we go. Let's switch it over. Okay. Al Hanasim. So this went to the wiki. Winnie Wiki Weedy. Right. I came, I saw, I conquered. Winnie Vinny V Vinny Vidi Viki. Yeah, that's why I say that? Because the wiki is more like how the Latin would have been said, but modern Latin they say like Vicky, right? Vinny, I came. Vidi, I saw. Vicky, I conquered. I find that to be so interesting. I keep saying that. Ones will pick up on it. So wiki come from Latin. So actually means like to conquer, right? In a sense, a conquerpedia. Conquerpedia, like we say Vidi, like in video, to see, like video, right? Vini, right? Vini, right? Or weenie. I came, I saw, I conquered. So anyway, here on the Wikipedia, going to the Wikipedia just for a moment, just to bring out this. So traditionally on the Shabbat that occurs during the time of Hanukkah, this is a chant, and also in the prayer book, the Siddur, we have a reading right here. So here on the Al Ha-Nasim, on the miracles. You know, if you say on God, on my this, on my that, on such and such, you know, people would say on this, on that. The sense of it is like, and based on the miracles. I give him praise to Yahweh Eloheinu. Right? Yahweh Eloheinu. Hold on for a moment. Okay, yeah. Yahweh Eloheinu. Al Ha Nasim. Right? Based on the miracles, like on the strength of the miracles, on all that he has done. You know, there's so many things we can give thanks for, but this right here is speaking on the miracles in connection with Hanukkah, right? In connection with the Maccabees. Oh, the Maccabees fight and the Hanukkah light. So Al Ha-Nasim alternately, right, is called Va'al Ha-Nasim, right? And on the miracles, Wa'al Ha-Nasim is an addition to the Amida. So zooming in right here. Some of these things we need to, you know, just study, right, and unpack, right? What is the Amida? The Amida, simply put, is the standing prayer. It's like when Moshe Rabbeinu said, and when you stand praying, right? The Amida. Then there's also the Birkat HaMazon, right? The Birkat HaMazon. The blessings, let's bring that out right here, right? The blessing of the food, right? In English, it's often referred to as grace after meals. Check it. Grace after meals, right? The blessing after meals, you know? And here, that basically is based on the mitzvah, the biblical commandment in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 10, right? Chapter 8, verse 10. We can get into more details. These are some basics. You know, we say these are some like the first principles, so to speak, right here, right? So let's just note this on the record right here, right? Get back to our main subject right here, right? So here, this is an addition to the Amida, the standing prayer, and the grace after meals, the Berkat HaMazon, the grace after meals. What's the other? The blessing over the food. Yes, blessing over the food on Hanukkah, right? Hanukkah and Purim. Now these are observances, memorials. We can say lesser, right? By comparison, holy days. It is not holy days that have been commanded as we have the 7 feasts, the 7 festivals in the 3 times and the 3 seasons in HaTorah, right? But they are kind of markers for us during the out of season. You know, when it says in season, right? To be faithful in season or out of season. So we have 3 times in the year corresponding roughly to the 3 seasons. And then, of course, ones will tell you, well, there's a 4th season, right? So here we're in the kind of 4th season, these winter moons, these 4 to 5 months, 4 to 5 moons. In the book of Jubilees, it said that in the winter season is the ideal time for study, Torah study, right? We have this in the Metzafik Kufale, aka the Ethiopic Book of Jubilees, in the Book of Jubilees, Little Genesis. But let's go on. So we have the Amida, this edition, Al Ha-Nasim, and on the miracles, right, to the standing prayer, the Amida, right, the Amida, and the Barakat HaMazon, and the like grace after meals, the blessing, the bracha for the food on Hanukkah, and then on Purim. So when we get to Purim, right, this shows that we're almost there. We're, like this is like Mikate corresponding with the end, of the Gentile year, but coming to the heart of the winter season, the time when there is shorter days and longer nights, the darkness, the theme of the darkness. What's interesting too is in the Torah reading and feeding, this is the time in the season when we are going down, right, to Mitzrayim, right? When we say going down to Egypt, actually literally, right, in the land and the region to get to Mitzrayim would be, according to geography, like going down. And literally coming out of Egypt would be coming up, right? Coming up as to ascent, right? According geographically, when they say the Nile Valley, truly, 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 it's a valley. It's a lowland. It's like a depression, right? So almost like coming from Mitzrayim, right? Geographically, it's like coming from the low part of the earth, and then going like to Jerusalem, Zion, going to a height, just to bring that out there, right? So both, there's a figurative sense of it, but there's also a literal sense, right? So on both holidays, it starts off with a short paragraph beginning with the words, "For that it is named." After that, each holiday has a unique paragraph describing the events for that day, for which that day is celebrated. So right here on the side, right there, here's a text, right? So this is one form of it, right? We have the Ashkenazi, the Sephardic, and we compare and contrast that. So here's it right here. Let me see if I can bring this out so you can see this right here. All right, let's go from the English first, right? So on Hanukkah and Purim, and for the miracles, that means like when we're out of season, when we're out of the 3 times in the year for 7 feasts, 7 festivals, after Sukkot, after Tabernacles, right? And before, right, we come up, right, proverbially like out of Egypt to the Pesach, right? So Passover is the next, we could say, commanded appointment according to covenant, right? So these here kind of like keep the fire burning, so to speak. So it says, and for the miracles, and for the redemption, and for the mighty acts, and for the salvation, and for the wars. So here in the Hebrew, either al ha-nasim, on the miracles, or in some readings, wi'al or vi'al, the weh, ve, and wi'al ha-nasim, wi'al ha-purkan, wi'al ha-giburot, wi'al ha-tishuot, wi'al ha-milhamot. So here, kind of a good translation here. And for the miracles, or and on according to the miracles, wa'al ha-nasim, and for the redemption, wa'al ha-purkan, the redemption, wa'al and on or for ha-giburot, the giburot, right, the geburas, right, the mighty acts, the strong acts, the mighty acts. Wa'al ha-giburot, wa'al and on and for ha-tishuot, and for the salvation, or actually everything is plural here, right? In other words, it's not just redemption, but like to say like the redemption, that has a singular kind of plural sense, but the redemption here, where it says wa'al ha-giburot, the mighty acts, wa'al and on ha-tishuot. Tishuot is the salvations. Tishuot. We hear the shu'ah as in Yeshua in that, but al ha-tishuot. And for the salvations, Hebraically, that also means the victories. Like the victories, even in a military campaign, is a teshua, right? Wa'al ha-tishuot, wa'al and on ha-milhamot, milchama, war, milchamot, and for the wars, right? And then there's this part right here. This is the part that we have like in the tune right there, that you have done for our fathers, our patriarchs, our ancestors, in those days, in this season. She She asita, she asita, la abotenu. She, that which asita, speaking to Yahweh, that which you have done did. She asita, la, for, right, or li, for, ha, abotenu, right? La abotenu, for the fathers, for our fathers, for the abot of Anu. La abotenu, ba Yamin, in the days, the Yamin days, ba Yamin, in the days, ha Yamin, ha hem, in the days of them. So to say in the days of them, ba Yamin, ha hem, is like to say in them days. And you say in them days, ba Yamin, ha hem, right? The Zaman, in the Zaman, the Zemin, in the season, the age, the season, be zaman, right? Be zaman hazeh, right? In the season hazeh, the this, in this season, right? Then this is a little bit more here, focusing more on the English column here. We go to the Hebrew, but just for one to get an understanding here, Hanukkah and the connection of the Al HaNisim, and for the victories on the victories, the miracles rather, on the miracles, right? Actually, Nisim from like nace is like a sign. Also, a nace can be like a flag, right? Like a flag is a sign, a symbol, right? This is the word that connects with the word for miracles, so we can get a Hebrew understanding of miracles. Here, the additional part, in the days of Matanyahu, like Matthew, Matanyahu, Matai, Matanyahu, of Matanyahu, son of Yohanan, the high priest, Kohen Gadol, the Hasmonean, and his sons, when the wicked Greek Grakoi kingdom rose up against your nation. These Greeks, right? The later Greeks are the children of Hellas, the Hellenistic, the Hellas, right? But here called the Grakoi kingdom rose up against you, against your nation, right? Yisrael, to make them forget your Torah, your direction, your instruction, and to remove them from the laws, right? From the laws of your will, the direction, instruction of your will. And you, speaking to Yahweh Eloheinu, in your great mercy, stood up for them in their time of distress. You, the I, Yahweh Elohai, fought their fight, judged their judgment, and avenged their revenge. You, the I, turned over the strong in the hand of the weak, like the strong into the hands of the weak, and the many in the hand of the few, and the impure in the hand of the pure, and the wicked, the ratchet, in the hand of the righteous, the right choice, and the sinners, the uckers, the lackers, in the hand of those involved with your Torah, with your direction, your instruction. And for you, for the I, you made a great and a holy name in your world. And for your nation, Yisrael, you did a great salvation and redemption to this day. And after this, your children came. So after the war, after the Maccabee fight, right? And after this, your children, they came into the Holy of Holies of your house, Beitekah, and cleansed your abode, and sanctified your sanctuary, and lit candles, or in the Hebrew, the nerot, right? You know, the nerot, where he'd liku, nerot, the candles is really the lamps, and lit the lamps, in the courtyard of your sanctuary, and established these 8 days of Hanukkah, to give what? To give thanks and praise, to give thanks and praise to your great name. That part right there, right? Wik abu, right? Shemonat, Shemonat, the 8, right? Yemeya Hanukkah, establishing the 8 days of Hanukkah, right? Elu, right? They live Hodot, to give thanks, right? Hodot, the Yada Toda, Lehodot, Ula Halel, U Lehalel, and to Hallel, to hallelujah, to boast in Yah, to Hallel, to praise in that sense, to boast, Le Shimka, right? For, right, or of your name, the boasting of the Hashem, Le Shimka, right? Ha Gadol, right? In your name, in your big name, right? In your big name, the sense of it, like to big up the name. And then we also have the additional part that's like for Purim, right? For Purim, right? Purim lets us know when we come to Purim, time of Esther, Hadasha, then we know that like Pesach, right, is right around the corner, like a couple of weeks, basically. We know it's right around the corner. So even these observances kind of help I and I to kind of remember, right? But they also bring to light important areas, like even within the Maccabees, the book of Maccabees, that history. We go from Malachi to Matthew, and there is how long? There's like a 400-year gap, right? So that's what kind of like bridges the gap, in the history. Because when we just pop down into the New Testament, some things are already going on. You know what I mean? It's like just entering into a place where the action's going on, but there's some things that set that context, and one of them that sets the context is the Maccabees, the time of Maccabees. I find it interesting. Malachi, last book of the Old Testament, Matthew, Matthew, Mattai, first book of the New Testament, and then we have Maccabees that was there at one time among certain followers and faithful, but then how others sought to remove it. But here, let's just go through this right here, just to share this little dub here for the Shabbat. This is mainly for the Shabbat. All right, here.
Shema Yisraya, here, Yisraya. Shabbat Hanukkah, said on the Sabbath of Hanukkah. Shabbat Hanukkah. Allah Nisim wa Allah Purkan wa Allah Gvrot wa Allah Tishuota wa Allah Milchamot. She'asita lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. We, I and I, thank thee, for the miracles, for the redemption, for the mighty deeds and saving acts wrought by thee, as well as for the wars which thou, the I, didst wage for our fathers, our patriarchs, in days of old at this season. Allah Nisim. We thank thee for the miracles. Allah Nisim. For the miracles. With Allah Purkan. For the redemption. With Allah Geburot. For the mighty deeds. With Allah Hateshuot and saving acts. With Allah Milchamota She'asita, brought by the eye, as well as for the wars which thou didst wage. La Evotenu, for our fathers. Bayamim, in the days Hahem, Bazman Hazeh, in the days of old at this season. In the days of Hasmonean Mattathias, son of Yohanan, the high priest, and his sons, when the iniquitous power of the Gracchoi of Greece rose up against Nikah Israel, against the I people, Yisrael, to make them forgetful of Torah Tekav, I Torah, I's direction, instruction, I's teaching, and to force them to transgress the statutes of thy will. Then disavow the I in thine abundant mercy. Rise up for them in the time and the hour of their trouble. Thou, the I, displead their cause. Thou didst judge their suit. Thou didst avenge their wrong. Thou, the I, deliverest the strong into the hands of the weak, the many into the hands of the few, the impure into the hands of the pure, the wicked, the ratchet into the hands of the righteous, and the arrogant into the hands of them that occupy themselves with Torah Teka, with the I Torah, I's direction, instruction, I teaching. For thyself, the I self, thou, the I, this make a great and holy and island name in thy world. And for Ameka Yisrael, thou, the I, this work of great deliverance, a great deliverance and redemption as at this day. And thereupon thy children, thy sons came into the oracle of Beitekah, of the I Beit, thy house, cleanse thy temple, purify thy sanctuary, kindle lights in thy holy courts, thy eyeless set apart courts, and appointed these 8 days of Hanukkah in order to give thanks and praises to thy great name. Ulahalel Lishimeka Hagadol. Therefore, Shabbat Hanukkah, Al Hansim wa Al Hapurkan wa Al Hagburota wa Al Hatashupota wa Al Hamilhamota Sha'asita Lavotenu Bayamim Hahem Bazaman Hazeh. We thank the I, Al Hansim, for the miracles. Wa Allah Qur'an, and for the redemption. Wa Allah Gburot, and for the mighty deeds. Wa Allah Hatashupot, and saving acts. Wa Allah Milchamot Sha'asita, wrought by the I, as well as for the wars which thou didst wage, la avotenu, for our fathers, by Yamim, in the days, hahem, in them days, bazaman hazeh, at this season, bazaman hazeh.
Naseem. Here. So the purpose of the Maccabee fight is about the holy place, the temple. Let's look at it in the Brit Chadash sense, in the New Covenant sense, cleansing the abode, the temple. Know ye not that your body sanctifying the sanctuary, right? Lighting the lights. Let thy light so shine, right, in the courtyards of the sanctuary. And establishing right here, these 8 days of Hanukkah. For what purpose? Lihodot Ula Hallel and the Hallel, the praising, the boasting. Ul Hallel, Le Shimka Hagadol, the great name. So right here, we have Shabbat Mikates, instant the connection of the theme. But right here, let's go today, the day 3, right? Day 4 right here. But the days, even with the readings here from Numbers chapter 7, right? There's the album cover, the Festival of Dove right there. There's the A side of the artiste right there. Here for day 4, right? Day 4, right? Gonna bring the day 4 reading forward, right here. Give me this one moment. Hear this. Prayer. Yeah.
Glory to the Most High Jah, Rastafari, King of Kings, Lords of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, light of the world, is His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie. Protect my son David as he traveled this lonely path. Steer my son far from bloody men who surround him with opinions sharp as daggers. Bless him with a vision to distinguish friends from foes. Bless his listeners with overstanding and patience. Remind the critics that all judgment belongs to thee. May the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy presence, Selah.
Hallelujah. So right here from the first Hanukkah in the scripture, first dedication of the Mizbeach, the altar piece is also very, very important. And just check how the altar piece, right, is that which is mentioned even in Revelation, the Chazon. That there concerns the feet, the feet of Moshiach being likened to the brass, brazen, burnt in the furnace of fire, and also the theme of judgment. So here, Shema Yisrael here for day 4 into day 5, Numbers chapter 7, picking up here with verse 30 to verse 41. Shema Yisrael. Hear this, here.
כל נפשך וכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר נושאים מצוותך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך וציוות בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ושכבך ופומיך וכתבת מאוד על ידיך והיו לתוספות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Know of a surety that thy seed will be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. They shall enslave and oppress them for 400 years. In the fourth and in the last generation. Yes, you shall journey into captivity a second time in ships. Because you have rejected his instructions.
Here, day four, Hanukkah. Here, Numbers chapter 7. Numbers chapter 7 from verse 30 to verse 41. Shema Yisrael.
On the fourth day, Eliezer the son of Shedeur, prince of the children of Reuben, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour, mingled with oil, for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliezer the son of Shedeur. On the fifth day, Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai, prince of the children of Simeon, did offer. His offering was 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai, 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 son of Zurishaddai.
Babylon burning, Babylon burning, Babylon burning. They have no water. Fire, fire, fire.
Why, slash, perfect, blessed, Messiah, 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 Messiah,
Here, Rastafari liturgy, right here, the creed, also known as the creed, right here.
Blessed be Ab, Ubu, Manfat, Sadu, Adu, Amla, Aman. Princess has come out of Egypt. Ethiopians now stretches forth their hands unto God. O God of Ethiopia, our divine majesty, thy spirit has come into our heart to dwell in the path of righteousness. Lead us. Help us to forgive, that we must be forgiven. Teach us love, loyalty, on earth as it is in Zion. Endure us with thy wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to do thy will. Thy blessing to you, that the hungry be fed, the naked be clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, and the infants cared for. Deliver us from the hands of our enemies, that we may prove fruitful in these last days. When our enemies are past and decay, in the depths of the sea, in the depths of the earth, or in the bowels of a beast. Oh, give us all a place in thy kingdom forever. Selah. Let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight. O Jah, thou art the strength and our Redeemer, that liveth and reigneth in the heart of man.
Wimru, Amen. I admit that faithful and true witness. Amen. Here, Dr. Ephraim. Dr. Ephraim Yitzhak right here, speaking on the Ethiopian Tewahedo Orthodox Church, the most Yehudi, right, Judaic of all the Christian churches. Here, let's see if we ride up.
I would like to read a paragraph from my introduction, which says, some might ask why a Jewish person should write a book about the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church. From my first year at Harvard University, when I became the first Ethiopian student of the famous Divinity School, studying comparative religions, I began to realize that the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church is the most Jewish of all Christian churches. Is the most Jewish of all Christian churches. Is the most Jewish of all Christian churches. Is the most Jewish of all Christian churches.
Being spread all over another country, another way of thinking. I also heard that you eating is also kosher eating. I mean,
Hold right here, in case you don't know, this is Burhana Selassie and Rastafari Joseph. Bob Marley here. Here, he is being asked about being, quote, Jewish, right? And he connects that Jew, Yehudi, is from Yehuda. Well, he says Jew is Jewish. Here, hear it for yourself. Yes, sir.
Being spread all over another country, another way of thinking. I also heard that you eating is also kosher eating. I mean, you're not eating pork and things like that, you know.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah, Rasta.
I don't believe it.
Well, I am Rasta.
So it's the same tradition as for the
Lion of a tribe of Judah. That must be Jew. Judah. Must from Jew. I was class at Judah.
Wow. Interesting. The woman, I think it's a woman, she says, are you Jewish? And he said, Jew, from Judah, you know, and she said, I don't understand. So we have to let's give them a yitzhak. You know, it says, give them a round of applause. Let's give them a yitzhak. Yeah, we want to give them an Isaac. Give them an Isaac right there. Here about to write off Maccabee, book 4. Book 4 here, chapter 4, coming forward, give thanks, stretching forth the right hand of fellowship to the co-laboring and serving Chaverim, you know, for their participation, their reading and feeding. Give thanks, brothers, for real, and sisters. Here. Also the mods. Yes, I. Give thanks, Sister Sharon, Fire. Yes, I, Brother Joseph. Also, heal up. Keeping the I prayers, Rosh Jawara, Levi, you know, and all others I, you know, going through the trials and tribulations in this season, but keep up the fight, keep the light lit right there. Here, this clip is We the Black Jews, says Rastafari.
And Israel King is Israel God. And upon the crucifixion tree there, where Jesus Christ is crucified, you see I-N-R-I, I-Negos, I-Negos.
Ethiopia shall soon stretch out her hands unto God. Sing unto God, ye kingdoms of the earth. Oh, sing praises unto the Lord. Selah. With Ethiopia, this man was born there. Babylon, to them that know me. Of Rahab and Babylon, Selah. I will make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know me. Behold, Philistia and Tyre with Ethiopia. This man was born there. Selah.
And Selah, here, tribute to the martyrs as well on Psalm 87. This one verse where we ride up with the fourth book of Maccabees here. Von Benjamin, okay, Becca here on Psalm 87. That was verse 4 right there in the Convent Lion.
Lord God love the gates of Zion more than all the rest of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of the old city of God, Selah. I must make mention of Rahab and Babylon, and to them that know I hold within the entire with Ethiopia, this man was born there. The ice himself shall establish her, as well as the singer, and the players upon instruments shall be there. All my springs are this. Lord God, Rastafari, highly Selassie the first shall come. When he riseth up the people, that this man was born there. In the society of the rich and the poor and the lost. In the society of the rich and the poor and the lost. When I hear the I-90, the I-Lake of Jah, hear the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Hear the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. We are in the society of the rich and the poor and the lost. When I hear the I-90, the I-Lake of Jah, hear the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense,
Kadamawi.
The whole place is due for help.
You name Jagat and is terrible among men. He then no like the name. Yes, and you name Jagat and is terrible among men. He them no like the name. For when I call him Rastafari, watch how we can tremble. He them no like the name. For when I call him Rastafari, watch how we can tremble. He them no like the name. I are the black Jews.
Well, let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God.
Just Rastafari. Just Rastafari. Just Rastafari.
Leader.
who taught Bob. He was like a preacher. He preached Rastafarianism, and he had a following. He hooked up with Bob as a young boy. I think that they gelled together.
Bob looked up to him.
Oh, yes.
To all the suffering one in Jamaica, it turned you into a militant person. Because you always have to try to find a way out of this system. And we see Rastafari as a liberationist religion.
It is prophesied that oppression make the wise man mad. And who is madder than my servant? Said the Lord, our God, Rastafari.
The Rastafarian were the only true Afrocentric black people who preach self-reliance, who preach self-confidence.
But we interpret the Bible a different way. Most of these places that they're telling you about in the Bible is in Africa. The Garden of Eden is in Africa. The teaching that we get from the elders then is that we always have to look for a black man as God, for we, somebody that we can identify with.
Christ promised to mankind that he will return within 2,000 years. And when he returns, he will be the King of Kings through the lineage of King Solomon and King David. Now we look out there to see who is this one man, Haile Selassie I the first.
Emperor Haile Selassie is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. He's our God, Rasta God. Rasta said, the purpose of life is to be happy. Everybody's supposed to be happy and live in peace, love, and unity. Yeah, man. I think when him start take it serious now as a Rasta man was, and him start growing dreadlocks.
Locks meant that you were a Rastafarian, and you've taken a vow, Nazarite vow, not to cut or comb your hair for a certain length of time, and it has a significance, and it's not to be taken lightly.
How important are the dreadlocks?
This
is that
this
part
is
of being a
identity,
Rasta?
man. Yeah, this is my identity.
Then you go through all the various rules for living as set out by the Bible, how you eat, how you live, how you treat other people. And he believed that if you practice these things, well, life will be better, not only for you, but for everyone else.
Got to have higher now. Got to have higher now. Got to have higher now. For the rain is falling.
Marijuana is illegal in Jamaica, but the Rastas say they smoke it because the Bible tells them to. The book of Revelation says to partake of the herb.
Herb was like a sacramental food to us. We take it for reasons, not just to get high. It puts us in a holy, peaceful, happy, inspirational mood.
Were you born as a Rasta?
I was born, and growing. There was a certain amount of consciousness in myself that, it was always a lonely world, not finding people who might think like me, So after going on and come to Kingston, meet some more people, them people is Rasta. You talk to them and find out it's the same thing I have inside. It's the same thing.
How old were you when this started to happen?
This is about 17, 18,
I think in the belief or knowledge of Haile Selassie, Bob found his real father, which he never really knew.
I think he saw himself now. This is where he found himself, yes. No more about being half white or half black. It's just one love.
One love, one heart. Let's join together and I feel alright. One love, full of mercy. One heart. I tell you everything South Africa and I will feel alright.
Undaunted by the driving rain, a sea of faces awaited at the Palisadoes Airport the arrival of a living legend. For some, he was the King of Kings, the Lion of Judah, even a god. Members of a local cult, the Rastafarians, who worship this figure as a deity, were present in full force. His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, Emperor of Ethiopia, arrived.
When the plane landed, thousands ran out to surround the plane. Sound of smoking. And police were powerless. And Selassie came to the door of the plane, I remember, and after about 20 minutes, and he just looked and went back in. Took a long time to get him off the plane.
So he came off the plane and he breathed. I said, wait, but this is a little man. This is this little man that says God. I'm crazy.
I sit there on my bicycle, waiting on him. And when him come up, he look right in my face. It's like him looking to everybody's face. But he look on everyone. I remember I see that.
And he just turned his head around and he was looking straight at me and he did like this. Then I look and I saw his hand. And I saw a mark in his hand. And believe me, my brother, when I saw that.
Yes. Right there. That was from this Marley movie documentary. Just one more little clip here from Slavery to Rastafari. Excuse I and I on this on screen right there. We know some of the technology has some situations. Here. Check it.
This is the Cape Coast Castle in Ghana, West Africa, where enslaved Africans were shipped to the Caribbean, to North America, and other places in the world. From this castle, on the average, 10,000 enslaved Africans were shipped year by year. Altogether, about 60 million Africans were enslaved. Whoever went through this door had no chance of coming back. That is why this door got the name, the Door of No Return.
Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, O children of Israel?
So here, fourth book of Maccabees. Here, chapter 4 for the fourth day's reading right here. Let's bring this up here. Share this on the screen. So Shema Yisrael, hear this, O Israel. Yes. Okay, yeah, you see. Okay, give me one moment. Yes.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
The fourth book of Maccabees, chapter 4. This so-called age of reason may in this chapter read that the philosophy of reason is 2,000 years old, the story of 7 sons and their mother. For the reason of our father Eleazar, like a fine steersman steering the ship of sanctity on the sea of the passions, though buffeted by the threats of the tyrant and swept by the swelling waves of the tortures, never shifted for one moment the helm of sanctity until he sailed into the haven of victory over death. No city besieged with many and cunning engines ever defended itself so well as did the holy man when his sacred soul was attacked with scourge and rack and flame. And he moved them who were laying siege to his soul through his reason, that was the shield of sanctity. For our father Eleazar, setting his mind firm as a beetling sea cliff, broke the mad onset of the surges of the passions. O priest, worthy of thy priesthood, thou didst not defile thy holy teeth, nor didst thou befoul with unclean meat thy belly, that had room only for piety and purity. O confessor of the law, O confessor of the Torah, and philosopher of the divine life. Such should those be whose office is to serve the law, to serve the Torah, and defend it with their own blood and honorable sweat in the face of suffering to the death. Thou, O Father, didst fortify our fidelity to the law through thy steadfastness to glory, and having spoken in honor of holiness, thou didst not belie thy speech, and didst confirm the words of divine philosophy by thy deeds, O aged man, that was more forceful than the tortures, O reverend elder, that was tenser strung than the flame, thou great king over the passions, Eleazar. For as our father Aaron, armed with the censer, ran through the massed congregation against the fiery angel and overcame him, so the sons of Aaron, Eleazar, being consumed by the melting heat of the fire, remained unshaken in his reason. And yet, most wonderful of all, he, being an old man, with the sinews of his body unstrung, and his muscles relaxed, and his nerves weakened, grew a young man again in the spirit of his reason, and with Isaac-like reason turned the hydra-headed torture to impotence. O blessed age, O reverend gray head, O life faithful to the law, and perfected by the seal of death. Assuredly then, if an old man despise the torments to death for righteousness' sake, it must be admitted that the inspired reason is able to guide the passions. But some perhaps may answer that not all men are masters of the passions, because not all men have their reason enlightened, but as many as their whole heart make righteousness their first thought, these alone are able to master the weaknesses of the flesh, believing that to Elohim they die not, as our patriarchs Abraham and Isaac and Jacob died not, but that they lived to Elohim. Therefore, there is nothing contradictory in certain persons appearing to be slaves to passion in consequences of the weakness of their reason. For who is there that being a philosopher, following righteousness, the whole rule of philosophy, and having put his trust in Elohim, and knowing that it is a blessed thing to endure all hardness for the sake of virtue, would not conquer his passions for the sake of righteousness? For the wise and self-controlled man alone is a brave ruler of the passions. Yea, by this means, even young boys, being philosophers by virtue of the reason, which is according to righteousness, have triumphed over yet more grievous tortures. For when the tyrant found himself notably defeated in his first attempt and impotent to compel an old man to eat unclean meat, then, truly in violent rage, he ordered the guards to bring others of the young men of the Hebrews, if they would eat unclean meat, to release them after eating it. But if they refused, to torture them yet more savagely. And under these orders of the tyrant, 7 brethren, together with their aged mother, were brought prisoners before him, all handsome and modest and well-born and generally attractive. And when the tyrant saw them there, standing as if they were a festal choir, with their mother in the midst, he took notice of them, and struck by their noble and distinguished bearing, he smiled at them, and calling them nearer, said, O young men, I wish well to each one of you, and admire your beauty, and honor highly so large a band of brothers. So not only do I advise you not to persist in the madness of that old man who has already suffered, but I entreat of you to yield to me and become partakers in my friendship. For as I am able to punish those who disobey my orders, so am I able to advance those who do obey me. Be assured then that you shall be given positions of importance and authority in my service if you will reject the ancestral law of your polity, share in the Hellenic life, and walk in a new way, and take some pleasure in your youth. For if you drive me to anger with your disobedience, you will compel me to resort to terrible penalties and put every single one of you to death by torture. Have pity then on yourselves, whom even I, your opponent, pity for your youth and your beauty. Will you not consider with yourself this thing, that if you disobey me, there is nothing before you but death and torments? With these words, he ordered the instruments of torture to be brought forward in order to persuade them to fear to eat unclean meat. But when the guards had produced wheels and joint dislocators and racks and bone crushers and catapults and cauldrons and braziers and thumb screws and iron claws and wedges and braiding irons, and the tyrant spoke again and said, "You had better feel fear, my lads, and the justice you worship will pardon your unwilling transgression." But they, hearing his persuasions and seeing his dreadful engines, not only showed no fear, but actually arrayed their philosophy in opposition to the tyrant, and by their right reason did obey his tyranny. And yet consider, supposing some amongst them to have been faint-hearted and cowardly, what sort of language would they have used? Would it not have been to this effect? Alas, miserable creature that we are, and foolish above measure, when the king invites us and appeals to us on terms of kind treatment, shall we not obey him? Why do we encourage ourselves with vain desires and dare a disobedience that is to cost us our lives? Shall we not, O men, my brothers, fear the dread instruments and weigh well his threats of the tortures and abandon these empty vaunts and this fatal bragging? Let us take pity on our youth and have compassion on our mother's age, and let us lay to heart that if we disobey, we shall die, and even the divine justice will have mercy on us. If compelled by necessity, we yield to the king in fear. Why should we cast away from us this dear life and rob ourselves of this sweet world? Let us not strive against necessity, nor with vain confidence invite our torture. Even the law itself does not willingly condemn us to death, we being in terror of instruments of torture. Why does such contentiousness inflame us, and a fatal obstinacy find favor with us, when we might have a peaceful life by obeying the king? But no such words escaped these young men at the prospect of the torture, nor did such thoughts enter into their minds, for they were despisers of the passions and masters over pain.
Yes. Chapter 4 of the fourth book of Maccabees. Give thanks, Ras Ayason to Farai for the read. Right there, Maccabees, chapter 4. Chapter 4 right there for the fourth day. Stay tuned, stay tuned. We're moving forward to the fifth day. And here, there's this Haftarah, prophet's reading from Zechariah. We read it the other day, Zechariah chapter 12, verse 10. Verse 10 to chapter, I think, 4, verse 7. Right? Just like to put that in right here. Shema Yisrael. Here it is, a little dub-wise on the He Speaks rhythm. Shema Yisrael. Fullness of chapter 12.
Chapter 12. The burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, saith the Lord, which stretcheth forth the heavens and layeth the foundation of the earth and formeth the spirit of man within. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege both against Judah and against Jerusalem. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. In that day, saith the Lord, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness. And I will open mine eyes upon the house of Judah, and will smite every horse of the people with blindness. The governors of Judah shall say in their hearts, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, in the Lord of hosts their God. In that day will I make the governors of Judah like an hearth of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in a sheaf. And they shall devour all the people round about on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplication. They shall look upon me, whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him, as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. In that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadad-Rimmon in the valley of Megiddo. The land shall mourn every family apart, the family of the house of David apart, and their wives apart, the family of the house of Nathan apart, and their wives apart, the family of the house of Levi apart, and their wives apart, the family of Shimei apart, and their wives apart. All the families that remain, every family apart, and their wives apart.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, 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 even in Jerusalem, 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 even in Jerusalem. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, even in Jerusalem. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah, against themselves, against themselves, against themselves, against themselves, against themselves, against themselves, against. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. And the house of David shall be as God, 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 as the angel of the Lord before them, before them, before them, before them, before them, before them, before them. And the house of David shall be as God, shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. And the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord, 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 the angel of the Lord.
It is good that you are here to record this picture of me in my palace garden at Addis Ababa. People who see this throughout the world will realize that even in the 20th century, with faith, courage, and a just cause, David will still beat Goliath.
Right there, and Haile Selassie's testimony. That was Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. So Zechariah comes in the season right here. And the prophet's reading is chapter 2, verse 14 to chapter 4, verse 7. Before we get to the Brit Kadash, a new covenant reading here for day 4. like to just share that right there. But we let chapter 12 go through on the He Speaks rhythm. You know, the siege of Jerusalem by the beast and his armies, and how Yehuda, Judah, the tribe of Judah, strengthened and Yahweh's deliverance. And then in verse 8 it says, in that day, oh, what a day. It says right here, Zechariah, chapter 12, verse 8, in that day shall Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house, the Beit David, the house of David, as Elohim, as the Malak Yahweh, as the angel of Jehovah before them. The likeness.
In Ethiopian life, the imperial ruler is likened in splendor to the sun, splendor to the sun, splendor to the sun, in exalted power to the lion, to the lion, to the lion, in his divine being to the kings of Israel, divine being to the kings of Israel, to the kings of Israel, to the kings of Israel, and at times to God, and at times to God, and at times to God himself.
Yes. So here. Let's just go through this right here. Zechariah, because the connection here, reason for the season. Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 10. Just the first verse here. The Hebrew right here. Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 10. Roni Yahweh Simchi. Rani, sing, speaking to she, Rani with simchi, and rejoice, be happy, Bata Sion, daughter of Zion, Rani with simchi, Bata Sion, Kia hinani ba, for, behold, look, see, here it is, here I am, for look, see, here I come, Kia hinani ba, with shakanti, Bitokek, and I will dwell in the midst of the eye. With Shakanti, Bitokek, speaking to she. Nuum, the oracle, Nuum, Yahweh, the oracle of Yahweh. Here, full of the verse. Rani Yaweshimachia Bantas Young. Kia Hinani Ba, Wishakantia Bitokek. Noom, Yahweh. Here, riding up, here. Sing and rejoice. Ani, with Simchi, speaking to she, Bata Sion, or daughter of Zion, Kia Hinani Ba, for lo, for look, see, here it is, I come, Kia Hinani Ba, and I will dwell in the midst of the eye, with Shakantia Bitokek. Noom. Here, not just the regular sayest, but it's the noom. Noom in Hebrew is an utterance, a declaration. Here, bringing it down to the oracle. Noom Yahweh. Verse 11. Here. This is in the section right here in Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 2, verse 14 in the section, Jerusalem in the kingdom age. And many nations shall be joined to Yahweh in that day, and shall be me, my people, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that Yahweh Tzebaot, Jehovah of armies, he who be of armies of hosts, hath sent me to thee, and Yahweh shall inherit Yehuda, his portion in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Be silent, O all flesh, lifnei Yahweh, before he who be before he is raised up out of his holy habitation, out of the habitation of his holiness, of his set apartness. Here to chapter 3, this is speaking of the 10 visions, right? Fifth item, Yehoshua, Kohen HaGadol, Yehoshua, Joshua, the high priest. Zechariah chapter 3, verse 1, and he shewed me Yehoshua. He shewed me Joshua, Yehoshua, right? Kohen HaGadol, the high priest, standing lifnei Malak Yahweh, the angel, the messenger of he who be of Yahweh, and Hasatan, and Satan, Satan, and the adversary, the opponent, the prosecutor, false prosecutor, standing at his right hand to resist him. Right? So Satan here, the adversary, right? And here to be his adversary. So the Hebrew and Satan, the adversary, standing right at his right hand to resist him, to be his adversary, right? Like in a court case. Verse 2. And Yahweh said to Hasatan, to the adversary, Yahweh rebuked the eye, O Satan, even Yahweh that hath chosen, even he who be, who hath chosen Jerusalem, rebuke thee. Not this, a brand plucked out of the ash, out of the fire. Now Joshua, was clothed with filthy garments and stood lifnei ha-malach, before the messenger angel. And he answered and spake to those that stood before him, saying, take away the filthy garments from him. And to him he said, behold, I have caused thine iniquity, thy moral perversity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with change of raiment, change of raiment. Verse 5. And I said, let them make them set a pure, a clean, ceremonial, clean, pure mitre, turban upon Rosho, upon his ras, his head, right? So they set a clean mitre, turban upon Rosho, his head, and clothe him with garments. And the Malach Yahweh and the messenger, the angel of he who be of Yahweh, stood by. And the Malach Yahweh, the messenger, the angel of he who be of Yahweh, protested to Yehoshua, protested to Joshua, saying, thus, like this saith Yahweh Sabaoth, saith he who be of Sabaoth, of hosts, of armies, if thou wilt walk in my ways, and if thou wilt keep my charge, then thou shalt also judge Baiti, my house, and shall also keep my courts, and I will give thee places to walk among these that stand by. Charge is the ordinance there, and walks, places, right? Places, walks to walk. So here, at this particular verse of 10 visions, is Yahweh's servant, the branch. Yahweh's servant, Ha-Samach. Hear now, O Yehoshua Kohen HaGadol, thou and thy fellows that sit before thee, for they men wondered at. For behold, right? For behold, look and see, I will bring forth my servant Abdi Ha-Samach, the branch. I will bring forth my servant, the branch. Here, verse 9, for behold the stone that I have laid before Yehoshua. Upon one stone, 7 eyes. Behold, I will engrave the engravings thereof, saith Yahweh Sabaoth, he who be of Sabaoth, and I will remove the iniquity, moral perversity of that land in one day. In that day shall Yahweh Sabaoth, shall y'all call, saith Yahweh, shall y'all call every man his neighbor under the vine and under the fig tree. So here, right, chapter 4, here to verse 7. This section here, the 10 visions. Continue the 7th item, the golden lampstand, the golden menorah, right, and the two olive trees, and Hamalach, and the angel, the messenger that talked, right, with I came again and waked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said to me, and said to I, what seest thou? What seest the eye? And I said, I have looked, and behold, look and see, here it is, a menorah, a lampstand, properly lampstand, all gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps that upon the top thereof. Actually, when it says the bowl, since the menorah is in the context feminine, it's actually her bowl, right? Her bowl, right? Not his bowl, as the translators translate. Several pipes to the lamps, right? Verse 3. And 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right, one upon the yamin, the right hand of the bowl, and another upon the simol, right? The simol, the left thereof. So I answered and spake to Hamalak, to the angel that talked with me, that talked with I, saying, what these, my Adoni, what these, my Lord, my master, my sovereign? Then Hamalak, the angel that talked with me, answered and said to me, knowest thou not what these be? And I said, lo, Adoni, no, my Adon, my Lord. Then he answered and spake to me, saying, this, the word, this the Dabar, the word of Yahweh to Zerubbabel, the seed or sown in Babel, the seed of Babel, right? Saying, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith Yahweh Sabaoth. Here, to bring out this verse here. Right. This is where, okay, what verse was that right there? That was verse 6. Licha. Here. Vaya'an, Wayomer Eli, and he answered, Wayomer, and he said, Eli, he said to I, Lamor, saying, Zeh, Debar Yahweh, Zeh, this, Debar Yahweh, this is the Debar. This is the word. In the beginning was the word. This is the word. Zed Debar Yahweh illa Zerubbabel. To Zerubbabel, Lamor, saying, Lo, Bechayil. Lo, no, not Bechayil. Not by Chayil. Not by might, power, might, not by Chayil. Lo Bechayil will lo Bekoach. Not by strength or power, right? Kiim, but, however, right? But Kiim be Ruchi, but by Ruchi. Kiim Ruchi, but by my spirit, my Ruach. Kiim Ruchi Amar Yahweh Sabaoth, says he who be of army, says Yahweh Sabaoth. Waya'ana Wayomer Elaya Lemor. Zed Debar Yahweh illa Zerubbabel Lemor. Lo bechayil lo bekoach. Kiima beruchi. Amar Yahweh Sabaoth. Here, fulfillment verse right here. Who thou, who the I, O great mountain? Before Lifnei Zerubbabel, before Zerubbabel, a plain, and he shall bring forth the headstone, shoutings, grace to it, and he shall bring forth the headstone, shouting, grace. Let's get this verse right here. Mi ata, me, who, ata, who the I, who is you, mi ata, who thou, mi ata, me, ata, mi ata, hara ha gadola lifneya Zerubbabel, mountain, great mountain, before in the presence of Zerubbabel, hara ha gadol lifneya Zerubbabel, le mishor, to be a mishor, like, so the words like in the KJV where it says thou shalt become a plain, it just says like a plain. Mishor, like level, yashad, level, you're gonna become level, the mountain's gonna be level vibes. Har ha-gadol lifnei Zerubbabel, le mishor, we're hotzi, and bringing forth a eta haben, bringing forth ha-eben. Eta ha-eben, the stone. Ha-eben, ha-rosha. Ha-rosha, right? The headstone. Rosh, right? Rosh, like the stone, her head in a sense, right? Ha-rosha, like a Rosh head, but here, ha-rosha, the headstone. Eta ha-eben ha-rosha tishuot, right? Tishuot, right? Tishuot, chain, shouting, tishuot, or the sha'ela, like asking in a sense, like beseeching. But anyway, here, tishuot, chain lah, chain lah. Chain grace, lah, or laha, saying for her, grace for her. Tishuota chain la. Fullness verse here. Miata had hagadol, lifneya Zerubbabel, le mishor. With Hotziya etaha ebena ha rosha, tishuot chain lah. Chain laha. Grace to it. Grace to her. Here. Look at that word there, teshua. It's a noise, a clamor. Yeah, the crashing, shua. Right? Showa. Yeah, the showa. Like a loud, clamorous sound right here. Fullness right here. You know, the headstone.
In Ethiopian life, the imperial ruler is likened in splendor to the sun, splendor to the sun, splendor to the sun, in exalted power to the lion, to the lion, to the lion, in his divine being to the kings of Israel, divine being to the kings of Israel, to the kings of Israel, to the kings of Israel, and at times to God, and at times to God, and at times to God himself.
Yes. So here. Let's just fulfill this right here with day four, right? For the Brit Chadash, as it makes the connective link. Give me one moment right here on the board, bringing up day 4. So here we have John's Gospel before we get right into segue to the Meek 8th Torah portion here. So we have like the Torah reading, and we still are, you know, if you notice, the Torah reading hasn't been suspended as it would be, you know, during the 7 feast festivals and the 3 times, you know, and the 3 times in the year. So we have the 7 Mo'adim in season and the 3 seasons, 3 times a year. But here, this memorial festival here for Hanukkah. So keep the fire burning.
Babylon burning. Babylon burning. Babylon burning. They have no water. Fire.
All right, right here, Shema.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel.
Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Babylon burn.
Slicha. Yeah, that was we got misfire right there. Here is where's the clip? Where's the clip? Right there. Okay, give me one moment right here. Here we're gonna pick up right here, as you see on the screen, with John chapter 9, and then we have 10 from verse 22. 10:22 is where we have Hanukkah, right? The feast of Livication, dedication, and new covenant. But here, Shema Yisrael.
The man born blind is healed. And Yeshua and Jesus passed by. He saw a man that was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Rebbe, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Yeshua answered, Neither has this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of Elohim should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. And he said to him, Go, wash in the pool of Siloam, that is, by interpretation, sent. He went his way, therefore, and washed, and came, seeing. Yeshua, Jesus, asserts his deity. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of Livocation, and it was winter. And Yeshua, Jesus, walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews round about him, and said to him, How long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be HaMashiach, if thou be the Christ, tell us plainly. Yeshua answered them, I told you, and ye believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me, but ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said to you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give to them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father, who gave them to me, is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one. Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. Yeshua answered them, Many good works have I shewed you from my Father. For what of those works do ye stone me? The Jews answered him, saying, For a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou, being a man, makest thyself Elohim. Yeshua answered them, Is it not written in your law, I said, Ye are Elohim? If he called them Elohim, to whom the word of Elohim came, and the scripture cannot be broken, say ye of him, whom the Father has sanctified and sent into the world, thou blasphemest. Because I said, I am Bein Ha-Elohim, because I said, I am the Son of God. If I do not the works of my Father, believe me not. But if I do, though ye believe me not, believe the works, that ye may know and believe that the Father is in me and I in him. Therefore they sought again to take him, but he escaped out of their hand.
Sorry, apologies, slicha. So that was John's Gospel, chapter 9, verses 1 to 7. John chapter 9, verses 1 to 7, and John chapter 10, verse 22 to verse 39, and John 10:22, a key verse right there. Here we segue right here to the Meek Eights, right? The 10th here, Meek Eights at the end right here. Meek Eights at the end. So here to the Torah reading and feeding here in the season, even at the end of this Gentile year. But here concerning Joseph, right? Joseph's ascent from that low place, you know what I mean? You know, the humiliation, the violation, you know, thrown in the pit, you know, by his brothers, and then also, you know, by the wanton mitzvah woman right there. Give thanks right there. Yeah, look at it on the screen right there. That kind of contrast here with this Torah reading and feeding, as well as with the, Hanukkah, Maccabee fighting holiday. So right here, let's get the Baraka and get into the Meek Eights at the end. And here, first thing first, the bracha, the baraka, the blessing before the reading of the Torah. Here, for Parashat
Rastafari. Rastafari.
Blessings of the Torah before the Torah portion reading in the Hebrew and English tongue. Baraku et Yahweh Hamvarach. Baruch Yahweh Hamvarach. Leolam Vayeh. Baruch atah Yahweh. Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bekorbenu mebo hamayim. Venutan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Yahweh, noten ha-Torah. Bless Yahweh, the Blessed One. Blessed is Yahweh, the Blessed One, for all eternity. Blessed are you, Yahweh, our Almighty, King of the universe, who selected us from all the peoples and gave us his Torah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, giver of the Torah.
Jah is I light, and I be a testament of the light that shineth through the night. Humble lion, I have to forward and reach a Mount Zion. Through following the light of the Lamb and the Lion, the most holy one, the Father and the Son. Read it in the Old and the New Testament. Me a tell you read up your Bible.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. What does Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad? Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. The Lord, our God, the Lord is one. What does that really mean? And why is it important?
So here for the Parashat, for reading and feeding, for the Shabbat, corresponding here in the Hanukkah time, week 8 at the end, Shabbat, week 8, here, picking up in Genesis chapter 41. This is going to take us to the first day service, and therefore into day 5. So ones that can join I, stay tuned. But here, Shema Yisrael, hear this, O Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shalom, Habarim, Shalom. Here, Shema Yisrael. Here for this Shabbat, for Shabbat Mikate, Sabbath at the end. Here, the Rishon Aliyah, the first Aliyah, the first up offering up. First reading the manna here for this Shabbat, for Shabbat Mikate, here picking up the first book of Moshe, the Hebrew book that is known as Genesis, here from the Sefer Bereshis. Pick up with Genesis chapter 41 for the Rishon Aliyah, the Shem Ab Habim Ruach Kadosh Yahweh Echad, in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. He who he be, the one. Wayehi miketza shenatayim yamim ufaro choleim v'hinei omed al hayhor. The dream of Pharaoh And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years, Wayahi Miketa Shnataim Yamim, that Pharaoh dreamed, Pharaoh Holaim, and Pharaoh dreamed, Pharaoh Holaim, with Hine, and behold, he stood by the river, with Hine, Omed al Hayor, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 favored, keen, and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other keen, kind, came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other keen, kind, upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed keen did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat keen, kind cows. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed the second time, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears ate up the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his irit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Mitzrayim, of Kemet, of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them to Pharaoh, to Pharaoh. Then spake the chief butler to Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Wayadaber Sarah, ha mashikim et Pharaoh lemor et chat I hani mazkir hayom. Then spoke the chief butler to Pharaoh, saying, I make mention of my fault this day. Et chat I haniya mazkir hayom. I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put I in ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me, I, and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. I and I dreamed, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us, with I and I, a young man, and Hebrew. Ibri. It was a young man with I and I, a Hebrew. With Sham, Itanu, Naara, Ibriya, Ebeda, Le, Sarah, Ha-Tabahim, Wana Saper Lawu, Waya Yifatar Lanu, Etahalamotenu, Isha, Ka Chelomo, Patar. And there was with I and I a young man, a Hebrew, servant to the chief, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to I and I our dreams. To each man according to his dream, he did interpret. Why yifatar, lan, holmo, patar. And it came to pass as he interpreted to I and I, to us, so it was. And me me, he restored to mine office, and him, he hanged. Joseph, Ayusuf, Yawasaf, exalted in Mitzrayim, in Gibbet, in Kemet, in Egypt, verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Yosef, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved and changed his raiment and came in to Pharaoh. And here, Shema Yisrael, here, give ear for the Shani, the second Aliyah, the second up offering, the second reading, here for this Shabbat Mikate, here verse 15, according to the Ashkenazim, Wayomer Paro el Yosefa Chalom Chalamti Yaua Poter Eina Oto Wani Shama'iti Ya Aleika Lemora Tishma'a Chaloma Lifator Oto. And Pharaoh said to Yosef, to Ayusuf, Yawasaf, I have dreamed a dream. Wayomer Pharaoh el Yosef, and Pharaoh said to Joseph, Chalamti, I have dreamed a dream, Chalamti, Fotir ein oto. And there is no one that can interpret it. Ufotir einoto hani ashamaitia aleka. And I have heard say of the eye, and I have heard say of the eye, ani shamaiti aleka ka lemor. I've heard say of the eye that when thou hearest a dream, thou, the eye, is able to interpret. Lemor tishma'a chalom lifutor oto. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me, not in I, Elohim, the nature of natures, Elohim, the true good, the true God. Elohim shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. Waya'ana Yosef eta Pharaoh lemor. And Joseph answered, Waya'ana Yosef, Pharaoh eta Pharaoh lemor, saying, Bila adai Elohim, Ya inne eta shalom Pharaoh. It is not in I. Bila adi. It's not in I. Biladai. It's not in I. Biladai Elohim, the true good, the true God, the nature of natures. Ya inne. Answer. Eta shalom. Answer of peace. Pharaoh. Bila adai Elohim. Ya inne eta shalom. Pharaoh. And here. Shema Yisrael. Here. Give ear right here, O Yisrael. Here for the Shani. Here for the Shani Aliyah, according to Sephardim, according to the Sephardi, the Shani, the second Aliyah, the second up offering here at verse 17. At verse 15, for the Ashkenazim, and is the second reading, and here at verse 17 for Le Sephardim, the Sheni Le Sephardim, verse 17. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river. Waya daber Paro il Yosef ba chelomi hini Omed Allah Sifata Hayor. And Pharaoh spake to Joseph, Why daver Paro il Yosef, in my dream, Bachelomi, behold, Hini, Omed Allah Sifata Hayor. I stood upon the brink, upon the lip, Omed al Sifat Hayor, of Hayor, of the Yor, of the river, of the river, of the river, of the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 keen cows, heifers, hetos, fat flesh and well favored. And they fed in the meadow. And behold, 7 of the keen, 7 of the cattle, of the cow, of the Hathors came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean flesh, such as I never saw in all the land of Mitzrayim, in the land of Egypt, for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored keen cows did eat up the first 7 fat keen cows. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known whether they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good, and behold, 7 ears withered, thin, blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them, and the thin ears devoured, ate up the 7 good ears. And I told to the magicians, but no one that could declare to me, to I. And Joseph said to Paro, the dream of Paro, one, Elohim hath showed Paro, Pharaoh, what he is about to do. Why Yomer Yosef il Paro, and Joseph said to Paro, Pharaoh, Chelom Paro, Echad. The dream of Pharaoh is one. Chelom Paro, Echad, who Et asher ha-Elohim oseh higida Pharaoh. What ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God, the nature of natures, ha-Elohim is about to do, he hath declared to Pharaoh. He has declared to Pharaoh, Et asher ha-Elohim oseh higid Pharaoh. The 7 good keen cows are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. Chelom. Echad. And the 7 thin and ill-favored keen cattle that came up after them, 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This, the thing which I have spoken to Paro, which I have spoken to Pharaoh. What ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God, the nature of natures, about to do, he sheweth to Pharaoh. He shows to Pharaoh, to who? Ha-Davara asher dibartia illa Paro asher ha-Elohim oseh her'a eta Paro. What Elohim is about to do, he showeth to Paro. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, of Gibbet, of Kemet. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Mitzrayim, the land of Gibbet, and the land of Kemet, the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of the famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was double to Pharaoh, twice. It is because the thing is established by Ha-Elohim, by the true good, the true God, and Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God, the nature of natures, will shortly bring it with Allah. Hiya shanota ha-chlom el paro. Pa e mayim kia nakon hadara mayim ha Elohim uma mahira ha Elohim la esoto. Now, therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Mitzrayim, set him over the land of Egypt. Let may Pharaoh do this, and make him appoint officers over the land, and take up the fifth part of the land of Mitzrayim, the land of Gibbet, the land of Kemet, of Egypt, in the 7 plenteous years, and let them may they gather all the food for those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them and make them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Mitzrayim, in the land of Gibbet, in the land of Kemet, the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. Vayomer Paro illa evadayo. Nimsa kazeisha shara ruach Elohim ba'u. And Pharaoh said to his servants, Vayomer Paro illa evadayo. Can I and I find such as this? A man in whom the spirit of Elohim, the true good, the true God, the true God, the true God, Henimtza kaze ish asher ruach Elohim ba'u.
There's a lot of work to be done, oh God, in the promised land.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
And here, Shema Yisrael, here for the Shalishi, here for the third Aliyah, the third up offering, the third reading right here, for this Shabbat Mikate, Sabbath at the end, Shabbat Mikate, Sabbath from the end here, for the Shalishi, the third reading here for this Shabbat Mikate. Here picking up the first book of Moses, the Hebrew book called Genesis chapter 41, here at verse 39, for the Shalishi. Vayomer Paro el Yosef, Achrei Hodia Elohim, Otika et kol zot eina nabona with Chakam Kamoka. And Pharaoh said to Yosef, for as much as Elohim has shewed thee, all this, there is none, no one so discreet and wise as thou. Vayomer Paro illa Yosef, and Pharaoh said to Yosef, Achareya Hodia Elohim Oteka, for as much as Elohim, for as much as Elohim have shewed, made known to the all this shown to the eye, all this. Achrei Hodia Elohim Oteka Etkol Ein Naron with Hakam Hamoka. None, no one so discreet and wise as thou. Thou shalt be over my house, and according to thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou, than the I. Ata Tihiye Allah Beiti with Allah Pika Yishaka Kola Mi Raka Ha Kiseya Egdala Mimeka Ka. And Pharaoh said to Yosef, see, I have set thee over all the land of Mitzrayim, all the land of Egypt. Wayomer Paro illa Yosef Re'ei. And Pharaoh said to Yosef, Re'ei, see, Re'ei, Natatiya, Otika Allah Kola Aretza Mitzrayim. See, Re'ei, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt, over all the land of Mitzrayim. Re'ei, Natatiya Hotika Allah Kola Aretza Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Yosef's hand and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, bow the knee, Abrek. And they cried, bow the knee. They cried, Abrek. And he made him over all the land of Mitzrayim, all the land of Egypt. Wayarchev oto b'mira kaveta ha mishne asher lo wayayikreu le'fanayo avrek we na tona oto al kol aretz Mitzrayim. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. Wayarchev oto b'mira kaveta ha mishne asher lo. And they cried before him, Wayikreu Abrek. And they cried before him, Wayikreu Lifanayo Abrek. Bow the knee, bend the knee, Abrek. With Naton Oto Al Kol Aretz Mitzrayim. And he set him over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh said to Yosef, I, Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Mitzrayim, in all the land of Egypt. Wayomer Paro illa Yosef. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, Ani, Pharaoh, Ua bila adeka lo yarim isha etta yado with etta raglo bikol areta Mitzrayim. I am Pharaoh. Ani Pharaoh. U bila adeka, and without thee I. U bila adeka lo yarum maisha etta yado. And without the eye shall no man lift up his hand. With etta raglo, or his foot, the kola aretza Mitzrayim, and all the land of Mitzrayim. Joseph, rejected by his brethren, receives a Gentile bride, receives a bride of the nations. verse 45. And Pharaoh called Yosef's name Zafnata Paneach, Zafnat Paneach, and he gave him to wife Leisha, to Oset, to Ashet, and he gave him to wife Asenat, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, and Joseph, Iusef, Yawasaf. And Joseph went out over the land of Mitzrayim, or the land of Egypt. Vayikra Pharaoh Shem Yosef Safnata Paneach. And Pharaoh called Yosef's name. Vayikra Pharaoh Shem Yosef Safnat Paneach. Safnat Paneach. And he gave him to wife Leisha Asenat, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On. Vayitena lo eta Asenata bata Potiphera Kohen On lit Isha. And Joseph went out over the land of Mitzrayim. Vayetze Yosef al aretz Mitzrayim. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh Melech Mitzrayim, king of Mitzrayim, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and went throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, all the land of Kemet, all the land of Egypt, of Gibbet. And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Mitzrayim, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. And Yosef gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. And to Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenat, the daughter of Potiphera, priest, Kohen of On, bare to him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for Elohim, said he, hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. Vayikra Yosefa et Shema ha-bekora Menashe Kia Nashani Elohim et kol it mali with et kol beit avi. And Yosef called the name of the firstborn Vayikra Yosefa et Shema ha-bekora Menashe Kia Nashani Elohim, for Elohim hath made me forget. Ki Nashani Elohim et kol imali. For Elohim, the true good, the true God, the Netcher of Netchers, hath made me forget all my toil. Ki Nashani Elohim et kol imali. And all my father's house with to call Beit Avi. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for Elohim hath caused I to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. With Shema Hasheni Yakara Ephraim Kia Hifarani Elohim Be'eretz Anayi. And the name of the second, with Shema Hasheni, called he Kara Ephraim. For Elohim hath made me fruitful Kia hifarani Elohim, for Elohim hath made I fruitful. Kia hifarani Elohim be aretza Anayi, in the land of Anayi. Anayi, in the land of my affliction. And here, Shema Yisrael, here, Gevil, Yisrael, here for the Ravi'i, here for the fourth Aliyah, the fourth up offering up, here for this Shabbat Miketz, Sabbath from the end, Sabbath at the end, here, picking up with the first book of Moses, Hebrew book called Genesis chapter 41. Here at verse 53 for the Ravi'i, here for the fourth reading, the fourth Aliyah, the fourth up offering for this Shabbat Miketz, Sabbath at the end, Sabbath from the end. Oatikaleina Sheva Shnei Ha Shava Asher Haya Be Eretza Mitzrayim. And the 7 years of plenteousness, and the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt, the land of Mitzrayim, were ended. Watika leina shava shnei ha shava asher haya bit aret Mitzrayim. And the 7 years of dearth began to come according as Yosef had said. And the dearth was in all lands, but in all the land of Mitzrayim there was bread. And when all the land of Mitzrayim was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said to all the Egyptians, "Go to Yosef. What he saith to you, do. Lekhu il Yosef asher yomar lakem ta'su." Go to Yosef, Yawasaf, Ayusef, what he saith to you, do. Lekhu il Yosef asher yomar lakem ta'su. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. The famine was al kol pnei haaretz, was over all the face of the earthly plain. And Yosef and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold to the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Mitzrayim. And all countries came to Mitzrayim, came to Kemet, came to Egypt, came to Gibbet, to Yosef, to Joseph, to buy corn, because that the famine was sore in all land. And here, Shema Yisrael. Here, Gevil Yisrael. Here, first book of Moses, Hebrew book called Genesis chapter 42. Joseph, rejected by his brethren, preserves them. Compare and contrast Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16. Here, Genesis chapter 42. Yosef, rejected by his brethren, preserves them. Now, when Jacob saw that there was Khan in Mitzrayim, in Egypt, Jacob said to his sons, "Why do y'all look one upon another? Wayare Yaakov ki yesha shaver be Mitzrayim. Why Omer Yaakov le banayo lama titarao." Now Yaakov saw that there was Khan in Egypt. Wayare Yaakov ki yesha shaver be Mitzrayim. And Yaakov and Jacob said to his sons, "Why Yomer Yaakov levanayo lama titarao? Why lama do y'all look one upon another? Titarao. And he said, "Behold, I have heard that there is Khan in Mitzrayim, in Egypt. get you down thither, there, and buy for us, for I and I, from thence, from there, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Mitzrayim, in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's Wendon, Joseph's brother, Yaakov, Jacob sent not with his brethren. For he said, lest peradventure mischief befall him. And he said, Ki amar pen yika ra'einu asod, ki amar pen yika ra'einu asod, lest perhaps peradventure harm befall him. And the sons of Bnei Yisrael, the sons of Yisrael, the children of Yisrael, came to buy among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph, the governor over the land, he that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but he made himself strange to them and spake roughly to them. And he said to them, whence come ye? Whence come y'all? From where? Come y'all. And they said, from the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said to them, ye spies, y'all spies, to see the nakedness of the land, y'all are come. And they said to him, nay, nah, Adoni, lo, Adoni, no, my Lord, no, but to buy food are thy servants come. Lo, Adoni, why, badeka, baua, lishabara, okel, we, I and I, all one man's sons, we, I and I, true, thy servants are no spies. Kulanu b'nei isha echada, nachnu kenim, nachnu lo hayu badeka miraglim. And he said to them, nay, nah, but to see the nakedness of the land, y'all are come. Why yomer lehem lo kia erwata haaretza patema liro. And they said, thy servants, 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one not. Kulama benu isha echada nachnu akenim nachnu lo hayu badeka miraglim. Vayomer lehem lo ki erata haaretza batema lirota. Vayomru shneim asara evadeka achim enachnu bnei isha echada be'aretz Canaan v'hineya hakatona etalinu hayom v'ha echada enin, and one is not v'ha echad enin. And Joseph said to them, that I spake to you, saying, y'all spies. Vayomer elehem Yosef, hu asher divarti elekem lemor.
Miraglim atem. And Joseph said to them, that is it. Hu asher devarti. That is it that I spoke to you. Hu asher devarti alekem lemor. Miraglim atem. Y'all are spies. Miraglim atem. Hereby, y'all, ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh, ye y'all shall not go forth hence from here, except your youngest brother come hither, come here, Bezota, tibachenu. Hereby y'all shall be proved. Bezota tibachenu. Chai Pharaoh, as Pharaoh liveth, Chai Pharaoh, Ima tetzrua mizeh ki ima beor, achikem, hakaton hina. Y'all shall not go forth hence except your youngest brother come hither, come here. Send one of you, shilchu mikem echad. Send one of you, shilchu mikem echad. Echad, send echad, one of you, shilchu mikem echad, and let him fetch your brother. And ye all shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be truth in you, or else by the life of Paro, by the life of Pharaoh. Surely y'all spies, y'all are spies. Shilchu mikem echad, v'yikach et achikem, v'atem he asoru, v'yibachenu divarekem ha'emetaitikem, v'yim lo che Pharaoh. Kia miraglim atem. Send one of you and let him fetch your brother, and ye all shall be bound, that your words may be proved, whether there be truth in you, or else, as Pharaoh liveth, surely y'all are spies. Weim lo Hey Pharaoh, Kia, Miraglim, Atem. And he put them all together into ward 3 days. And Yosef and Joseph said to them the 3rd day, this do and live for. I fear, I reverence, I respect Elohim. Why ye so far tama illa mishamara shelosheta yamin. And he put them all together into ward 3 days. Wayomer Lehem, and he said to them, Joseph said to them, Bayom Hashalishi, on the 3rd day, Zota Esu, Wechyu Eta Ha'Elohim, Ani Yae, this do and live, Zota Esu, Wechyu, and live, Wechyu. Eta ha-Elohim, ani yare, for I reverence ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God, the nature of nature, ani yare, eta ha-Elohim, ani.
All he needs to do is follow the spirit, which is legit. That is how we'll all grow. No Elohim, man, that is plan. All he needs to do is follow. Man,
አየነው የሰማንን አወቅነው የዳሰስንን አገኘነው የአብርሃምን አምላክ የሚያየንን ጌታ ኤልሮኢምን 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 ኤልሮኢምን
Yes, yes, yes. So right here, first, second, third, and fourth. That was the fourth Aliyah. We have the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh for the day coming in, the eve. So here, on the eve of the first day service coming up at the top of the hour. But we leave off right here with Yosef. So you see, it's interesting because 10 of them, the patriarch Avinu Yaakov, he sent 10, right? He kept Benjamin, Benjamin there. So Yosef, he knew them, they didn't know him. We see they bowing, right? It wasn't that what Joseph said in the dream right there, that they would bow, they would prostrate to him in the sense of, quote, worship, but the prostration fall down on their face. And Yosef could say, hey, brothers, look, I'm here. But he didn't do that, right? And we see that he's accusing them of being miragling, ragal, to go on foot, right? The literal sense of ragal, to go on foot, but it can have a connotation, a secondary sense of like to spy out, to go on foot. So he says, like, y'all are miraglim, almost like stragglers walking around spying out on foot. And in order to prove that you're really true, you're going to have to bring your younger brother, because you saw earlier, here, just for our segue, right, to the first day service right here because of time, because the board is going to go out soon, so we're not going to use that board, and we're going to reboot right here at the top of the hour. So ones and ones on the Rastafari Israelites, we say channel 1 and channel 2, Rastafari groundation, just like reboot, just, at the top of the hour, give us a couple of moments. Hopefully everything goes smooth. But right here, he says in verse 15, hereby y'all shall be proved by the life of Pharaoh. So here Chai, Pharaoh, right? Chai, life, living, the living of Pharaoh, Chai, Pharaoh. When we say Chai Yahweh, Chai Yahweh, as Jehovah lives. Here he says Chai Yah. Here he says Chai Pharaoh, by the life of Pharaoh, right? He says, y'all shall not go forth. Notice what he says, except your youngest brother come hither, come hena, right? Come here. It's interesting because there'll be 10 of them, right? If he said to them, hey, I'm Yosef, your brother. Hey, look, I'm alive. See, I told you my dream came true, and praise be, Eloheinu. They could still say, right? Hey, but there's 11 of us. There's 11 of us. So it's kind of interesting how the narrative is working out right here, and also other details too, concerning what occurred in Mitzrayim, concerning the position of Yosef, his ascension. But I think it's this verse here that really kind of does it, right? And they said, right, thy servants are 12, because there's this protesting. They're like, we're no spies, we're true men. Isn't that interesting? Right? He said, you come to see the nakedness of the land. And they say, nay, my Lord. So they also recognize him as Lord, right? Adoni, right? He's Ha'adon, Ha'aton, Ha'aten, right? Aten, right? Aton, Adon. Looking at the Afro-Semitic etymology right there, but we'll pick up on that. Here they call him Adoni. They say we just come to buy some food, right? In the direct sense, okel, okel. It just comes from okel, some cereal, some grain, food, right? All thy servants come. So they also declare themselves to be the servants, Joseph's servants, right? And they say, we all one man's sons. We true. That's the interesting thing right there. When they said we can. Can in this sense can also be a kind of a true sense. Well, we right, we honest, we true, we can. We right, we honest, we correct, we veritable. Can also be a response, like can, like yes, correct. They say we are just, right? Notice the true that they use is not the emet sense, right? But they use the Cain sense, the like affirmation, assent sense, right? He said, thy servants are no miragalim. We're not miragalim, right? The word ragal here, to go on foot, can also, second of the two truths mean to spy out, right? But he says to them, nay, nah, right? But to see the nakedness, right? Notice the erva, right? The erwa or erva, right? To see the nakedness of the land are your come. So now they say this here, verse 13, to pick up right here, looking to come to the top of the Iowa. And they said, thy servants 12, right, brethren. Now notice they still are saying 12. Isn't that interesting? Then I have one left right there. Now notice, one might say, why is Joseph doing this? Let's just go to the narrative for a moment, right? There's 10 of them there. They all bow, so they fulfill that part. But the dream, the chalom is not fully fulfilled just yet. No, this is just beginning to be fulfilled, right? Now they say they are servants, thy servants are 12 brethren, right? But wait. Let's count. Let's listen what they say. The sons of one man, right? That's also a key there. The sons of one man in the land of Canaan, right? And behold, the youngest this day is with Abinu, is with our Ab, our father. And then they say one Einenu, right? One is not. Joseph has a point here. They didn't go into this one, right? Let's just do the math. There's 10 of them, right? They say there's 12 of them. They say, well, there's 12 of them, and the youngest of the 12 is with the father. That makes 11. Then they say one is not. Right, but one is not. You check the math right there. So Joseph is kind of testing them right here. Now we're going to pick up right here in the midst of this right here. We're looking at the time right here with the first day service. Join 99 first day service. Also on the fifth day of Hanukkah, coming forward, the Maccabee fighting holiday. Right here, Israel Vibration, Brothers Keeper. Hear a little bit of this right here.
In this melting pot together, so we must take it. Heart, no stone, no man, no perfect. Shipwreck. Let's see who can jump first blow. Then I hit back. No that kills insanity in the closet. This is something we ought to know. I'm your brother. I'm your keeper. You're my brother. You're my keeper.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.